My name is Zach. This is Dylan with Shield Response and Restoration. We're at HarborHouse in Gulfshores at John Allen's unit. Today we're making a video to show you how we dry out a wall that's wet from any type of rain damage. We try and do it with the least amount of demo as possible, and we try and save as much as we can that hasn't been affected. And so in front of us, as you can see, we have a window, and storm damage, water damage has come in through the left side of the window. We have a marking of a reading of 75%, and then we've got another reading of 100%. And so in this video, we're gonna go step by step on what we do from start to finish, as far as removing the wall, drying the wall out, and then how do we contain and clean or remove anything that's damaged.
What we're finding common at these condos is a lot of these units, we're finding water has come in around the windows, they've came in around the doors. That's the most obvious place that we have found so far, and the most common place. Now, to do this with the least amount of damage as possible, what we do first is we come in, and to save time, we've already done the steps and have already removed everything, but we put it all back, and we're just gonna walk you through how we do it and what we do. First thing we do, of course, is we want to come in here, we want to cut the caulk along the baseboard, and we cut that with a knife before we ever try to pull it off. And that's to prevent the paint from peeling up the walls, and we can actually save that wall pulling that baseboard off. And once you cut that caulk all the way across, what you're going to do is, a lot of people, what they normally do is take their flat bar, and they just start prying on the wall and pulling up, and then they end up poking big holes through the sheetrock all the way down, and then you end up either gotta re-mud all that, or you gotta repair all that anyway, and you just wasted all that effort. So normally what we do is we just take a mud knife and we slide in behind it, and then we take our flat bar, and then that actually gives us a hard surface to pry on. And then once we start prying on that, then we can get our baseboard loose, and we can pull the baseboard off without actually damaging the paint that's on the wall. So if we're actually able to dry this wall out, we can save it, and now we don't have to repaint the whole thing, and we can get it done even faster. We save the baseboard. Now, if the baseboard's still in good shape, we can reuse it. But if it's got any kind of mold spores or anything in it, or if it's MDF and it's swollen, you're probably gonna want to throw it away and get a new baseboard put up. But this is solid wood, it's in good shape, can be resanded, reused if that's the route that the homeowner decides to go. Now that's out of the way. Normally you have your sheetrock goes all the way across, and you can see we've already cut out from here to over there. And what we do is we pop a line with the chalk line all the way across below the caulk line. And then that way, once we get done with our dry out, we can actually come back with a new piece of sheetrock, fill this gap in, seal that gap, put the new baseboard or the old one back up, and it actually covers that line. And then we can re-caulk our baseboard to the wall, and it looks like it's never even happened. Now we got the sheetrock already pulled out, we'll put a new piece in. And then what we have is we have wood lathering strips behind here. We'll take the nails out, of course. We'll treat all this, make sure everything's clean, that there's no kind of growth going on. Now if we have growth, we're going to have to take a different step. We may have to remove a little bit more of the sheetrock or some of the wood, but this looks pretty good right here. So what we'll do is we'll come in and actually spray with our Decon 30, which is an all natural product. It's really good for mold and mildew. It's a mildew-stat, antimicrobial, and you spray it down, and you just soak it down. Like I said, it's all natural product. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt any pets. It's all safe. And once you spray all that down, and then we'll actually clean the outside of the wall too, also just for extra protection. Now we sprayed all that down and cleaned up. Now we're ready to put our drying equipment up.
All right, so we've removed the damaged drywall that was behind the baseboard. We've saved the baseboard to be put back at a later time. We've also cleaned the area with Decon 30 and sanitized it. We've also, once we spray, we're gonna wipe everything down with the rag and get it nice and clean. And then the next step is we're gonna try and use these air movers, which are high-powered fans that are gonna blow and force air up behind the plywood where the water came in, and we're gonna try and dry out underneath the plywood as well as behind it, and try and dry the entire wall out from the bottom. And we'll leave these running from anywhere from 3 to 5 days depending on the amount of moisture that's found in the wall. So once we get the fans on the affected area, the next step would be to bring in a dehumidifier, which this is all going to be brought in at the same time. But the dehumidifier is going to bring down the humidity in the room and bring down the moisture levels that's in the condo, and really dry out the condo from the inside out. So once we got the dehumidifier and the fans running, then behind it we're going to have a HEPA air scrubber, which is going to filter any dust or contaminants that are floating around the room. If we end up having to pull out insulation, there might be some insulation fiberglass floating around in the air, and this machine right here is going to filter everything, and so it's going to make it a nice, safe and clean environment, working environment, as well as people having to walk through or come in this room to access items that they may need. And so this is just kind of the basis of our process as far as the drying out stage goes, and then we're going to pretty much have this identical setup in any room that has damage that we've had to remove any drywall or trim.